Is there something in your family that's been passed down that's treasured? With some people, it's the family Bible. With some, Papa's old coin collection. And in others, it's Grandma's famous cookie recipe. In my family, it's been Granny and Papa's old red tractor. My mom drove it growing up. She taught my dad while they dated, and now it's my turn to assume this family duty. I will tell you that the tractor has not worked all of these years without some tinkerings. A new battery one year, new spark plugs the next, and a little bit of touch-up paint every now and then. But all of these adjustments have kept it alive and in great operating condition, despite its age and the different people driving it. As I've studied our country's Constitution, I am struck by how it has governed our society for many generations and has experienced its own share of tinkerings, 27 tinkerings to be precise. I see two characteristics that help to explain the longevity of this special document. One, its careful construction, and two, its ability to adapt to a changing society. Let's explore these two characteristics by thinking back to 1787, reviewing a little bit about how our Constitution was constructed, the men who created it, and understanding the responsibilities and duties that we share as citizens. 55 delegates to the Constitutional Convention met at the Pennsylvania State House, now known as Independence Hall in Philadelphia. George Washington and Benjamin Franklin were the two most famous Americans to attend. James Madison, then only 36 years old, is generally agreed to have been the single most important member of the convention and is known as the father of the Constitution. Alexander Hamilton, along with Madison and John Jay, wrote numerous essays called the Federalist Papers to support and explain the new Constitution to Americans. An early decision known as the Connecticut Compromise was key in creating agreement for our foundational federal system of government, dividing areas of authority between the states and the national government. The delegates agreed that a republican system was essential, with officials elected to represent the people and the states. The framers realized that a delicate balance was required to create a political climate that would make America a land of freedom, opportunity, and justice. James Madison, in the Federalist Paper number 51, commented, "In framing a government which is to be administered by men, over men, the greatest difficulty lies in this. You must first enable the government to control the governed, and in the next place, oblige it to control itself." As a result of their careful deliberation, our founding fathers successfully fulfilled the monumental task of creating a system of government which maintains the proper balance between liberty and authority. Now, the Constitution took many months to draft, and then the ratification process by the states took over 2 years. Of the original 13 states, Delaware was the first state to ratify it, and Rhode Island was the last. It took this long because American citizens and the government took the responsibility of creating the Constitution very seriously, and were willing to take the time needed to make sure they wrote and approved the best possible document they could construct. Now, our family tractor, like the American Constitution, was very well built, but it still has needed adjustments and work over the years. Likewise, our founding fathers knew that no frame of government could make provision for all present and future changes that would be required, no matter how well it was written. So they wisely included ways to amend or adjust the Constitution. There are 4 separate methods for amending the Constitution, and all 4 require both congressional and state approval. Now, although the Constitution states that an amendment may be initiated by Congress or by a majority of the states, the only method employed to date has been for amendments to originate within Congress and then be submitted to the states for ratification. Because the stipulations in Article 5 make amending the Constitution a long and tedious process, very few of the proposed amendments have actually been ratified. Of more than 10,000 amendments that have been considered in Congress, only 33 were sent to the states to ratify, and only 27 of those have been added to our Constitution. As we all know, these 27 have had a tremendous impact on our society and have all been a crucial part of our country's development and success. It's unfortunate that while every American has inherited the benefits, liberties, and rights that the amendments give them, very few appreciate the significance of each amendment or ever consider what life would be like without them. To make us more aware of the amendment's importance, let's review several of the ones that have had the greatest impact on our society and consider the impact they have had on our individual lives. The First Amendment was included in the Bill of Rights that was ratified in 1791 and guarantees every American the freedom to speak our minds on various issues, practice the religion of our choice, and be guaranteed the right to put our convictions and concerns into print and publish for others to read. The Sixth and Seventh Amendments formalized the American concept of innocent until proven guilty. These amendments ensure that people accused of violating the law have the right to a just and speedy trial and the option of a trial by a jury of fellow citizens to determine whether allegations are supported by proof. The 13th Amendment eliminated slavery in our country and put to final rest one of the most difficult issues our country has had to face. And perhaps most important and most familiar to you and me, we as citizens would now be able to exercise our crucial right to vote for the leaders of our choice were it not for three key amendments. The 15th Amendment of 1870 ended voting discrimination based upon color and race. The 19th Amendment allowed women to participate in the electoral process, and the 26th Amendment lowered the voting age to 18. The writers knew with certainty that in order for the Constitution to be successful through different generations and times, it must contain general, guiding principles that would be applicable to any society. They also knew that society changes and requires that the laws be adaptable to the needs of the citizens whose rights they protect. Article 5 allows our Constitution to do both. Many refer to our Constitution as a living, breathing document because of the way that it has changed with our country over the years. Now, think back with me to our beginning discussion. My dad drives, maintains, and tinkers with our old red family tractor. He's teaching me all that he knows about it, so that I'll not only have the knowledge to protect it and keep it up, but so that I'll also appreciate its legacy and the benefits of its service, no matter who's driving it. Just like that tractor has served our family for many years because of its solid construction, so the solid construction of our Constitution serves our country. The framers wisely and carefully crafted the Constitution so that it could effectively govern both current and future generations. It transcends political parties and who's in charge. But the possession of it mandates our duties and responsibilities, one of which is to apply the provisions of Article 5 and tinker with the Constitution as needs arise. Another is to exercise our right to vote, electing leaders who will conscientiously adhere to constitutional principles and make wise decisions in the day-to-day governance of our country. Today, we benefit from the original work of our founders. We are grateful for the sacrifices of those who protected that work. And we are confident in our ability to continue that work. I'd like for you all to think about the words inscribed on the National Archives building in Washington, D.C. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. Ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution is truly a family heirloom worth passing down.